nation divided by war over slavery.
The Civil War was a dividing evolution for the U.S., and the effect it had impacted us forever. Conflicted over slavery and power, the North and South had a rocky start. After the election of Abraham Lincoln, an anti-slave president, the first states started to cede, thus starting the Civil War. EQ1. Why did each side think the war would be won easily? The North's advantages. The North had both a statistical advantage and an almost certain win outcome. Having more production and population were one of the Northern's advantages over the South. The Northern's main strategy was to isolate the South and essentially siege the whole South from the outside. This was nicknamed the Anaconda Plan. Southern advantages. The South had few but extremely important advantages over the North. At first it would have seemed that they would be an easy opponent to defeat, but the South contained some of the most esteemed generals in the U.S. The South had more simpler plans of warring with the North. All they had to do was defend and waste the Northern resources until they got tired of fighting. This plan held true until Lee's decision to invade the North began. Both sides had an increase in warfare technology as well. Naval warships that could withstand cannon and artillery fire, nicknamed ironclads, as well as increased accuracy and high-powered rifles, played a huge part in battles where simply charging forward wasn't very effective. EQ2. How did each side in the war try to gain an advantage over the other? In the beginning of the war, the Union and Confederates rushed to gain the support of the border states. These states would prove to be the front lines of war as they were the only routes to the other side. During the war, the capture of major points such as bodies of water and railroad points were crucial for the long-term fight, especially for the Union, which planned on invading the Southern Confederate States. 3. What were the causes and effects of the Emancipation Proclamation? The Emancipation Proclamation was issued in the middle of the Civil War. It basically freed slaves in the Southern Territory. Although its intent was to abolish slavery, Abraham Lincoln used it to his advantage to add to the Union Army, both halting the South and aiding the North. After releasing the Emancipation Proclamation, slaves were freed in Southern Union-controlled areas. The effect was that it ultimately led to the support for the Union, an enormous boost to the Union side of the battle with numerous amounts of enlistments from free men. EQ4. How did the war affect people and politics in the South? The war weighed a heavy weight for both the Union and South to carry. Its economical and social infrastructure in ruins, the South drastically changed during the war. During the mass secession of Southern states, the last few to go were the border states. Not entirely up for the cause, those Confederate states argued to make peace between the North and the South. Mainly because of the lack of slavery, it divided the interior of the Southern Confederate states. EQ5. How did Lincoln and his generals turn the tide of the war? A string of good luck for the Union arose as they broke their losing streak. Due to poor planning and bad tactics, the Union suffered losses at Antietam and their first battles at Bull Run. Luck began to change when the Union counted on their steady stream of overpowering the enemy with more soldiers. Battles such as Gettysburg and Fall of Vicksburg marked the near of the end of the Civil War. The siege of Vicksburg proved to be a major advantage passed from the south to the north. As the last city connected to the Missouri River, taking Vicksburg would lead the Union to a major breakthrough in their plans to capture the Confederate capital. It allowed the transportation of troops and supplies to the front lines quicker and faster along the Missouri River. The Battle of Gettysburg was the last and final battle of the Civil War. After rigorous lockdowns shown from the Union, both sides squared off in a 3-day bloody fight. This battle proved to be one of the bloodiest as both sides exceeded a mass body count. Due to poor planning, Robert E. Lee commanded his men into a mass slaughter against General Grant, who used the Union's constant stream of men to its advantage. The Battle of Gettysburg led off to the surrender of Robert E. Lee and the end of the Civil War.